Greetings and welcome, everybody, to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting across from me is a man who's so bipolar, he can field his own pairing for the Mixed Match Challenge for the WWE, Mr. Fluffy.
And sitting across from me, he's the man that brought Enzo Amore home-style chicken noodle soup. None of that canned crap.
How you doing?
That's my good friend, Irish.
Oh, yeah. Good to be here, everybody. We hope you guys are having a great time out there in Beers and Body Slams land. We have got a great show, but before we get too far into that, a moment of silence for our fallen comrade. Oh. Little stomach flu or little tummy virus.
Tummy.
Our good friend, good old JB, will not be joining us tonight.
Nope.
But we will carry on in the fine tradition
That's right.
of Beers and Body Slams podcast. So we'll miss you, buddy. This show's for you. All right. So we've got a great show. We're going to talk about Raw, Smackdown, and a couple other little things.
Yep.
And we've got a pretty interesting beer that we're going to be talking about. All that and so much more when we come right back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Body Slams podcast
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
with your host, Mr. Fluffy,
Hello, ladies.
good old JB,
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
and the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, E-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
All right, Fluff, what are we drinking?
All right, we are drinking from the Anchorage Brewing Company. We are drinking the Nectar.
The Nectar.
The Nectar. It just sounds cool saying it, doesn't it? The Nectar.
Riot Squad versus
The Nectar.
the Nectar.
It's a honey saison. It is an ale brewed with honey, then fermented in oak tanks with brut. So it's a saison. It's really good, and it's got on the side of the bottle in pretty decent sized letters, fermented in Alaska, and then 3 snowflakes. I guess they're trying to say something.
Because when you're walking through the beer aisle and you're like, I just need something fermented in Alaska. And if you can't see it, you're not going to buy it. Boom. Done. Buying it.
What actually drew my attention to it, I admit, is the bottle, because it's a giant bee on a honeycomb. That's what actually grabbed my face. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting, because there was a bunch of bottles from the same company, but for some reason I saw this one. I was like, oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, Anchorage Brewing Company's been around for a little while. We've had some Anchorage beer before.
We may
be
have
wrong,
but I wanted something different for this to start the year
This is
off.
totally different, yeah.
It's sweet, but it's still got that saison floral smoothness.
Velveteen to the palate.
It'd be tough to pair this with anything though, because
this would be a very good hors d'oeuvre beer. Like if you're doing like small tapas or something, this would be a great beer to go with that. Something light.
Yeah.
Something that wasn't too
it's a good
overpowering.
palate cleanser.
Right.
That's what this beer would be good for, is between courses, because this will completely clean off your palate.
Right. Hose that sucker right down.
Yeah, but that's good though. Thank you so much to the Anchorage Brewing Company for the Nectar.
The Nectar.
All right, so we got a fun show. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about Smackdown. But before we do that,
The Nectar.
the Nectar. We're going to do
That's
that.
my wrestler. That's my pro wrestler persona.
The Nectar.
What are you going to do when the nectar stings you, brother?
What are you going to do when I come over and fuzz all over you and pollinate your pustules?
Oh, Mean Gene, I'm going to pollinate all over him. When these 22-inch pythons get around you, I'm going to buzz right through ya.
What are you going to do when I come over and make your crops grow really big because I'm the Nectar.
And his arch rival would be Monsanto.
Yes,
Monsanto man.
Or no, actually, I guess or the pest control guy.
Oh, the beekeeper.
He'd be the beekeeper's their friend. That would be his tag team partner.
Oh yeah, the beekeeper.
The beekeeper or his manager. That was his
Nectar.
manager. The beekeeper was his manager, but he'd be the Nectar.
If he had like a TV show like Ms. TV, welcome to the honeycomb.
Oh my god, the honeycomb hideout.
We've got to stop. That's what JB would have already stopped us by now.
Exactly.
All right.
Thanks a lot for that.
What do you want to talk about before we get into the show?
All right. So next Tuesday, immediately after Smackdown,
See?
they are doing WWE. I shouldn't say they. WWE is doing something very unique.
205 Live is not unique.
No, they are starting their first ever Facebook exclusive show on Facebook Watch, which I have to admit to you, I still have to research how the hell to watch this thing because I'm not sure.
When you log into your Facebook account, on the far left side, you've got, all your like little pages and stuff. At the very top, it's got like something, watch something. And you click on it, and like Gary V's got his show, and there's a bunch of BuzzFeed crap, and there's some other things there.
So, okay, so maybe you should know more than I do. Can I watch it on my like Apple TV and stuff like that, or do I have to watch it on my?
That I could not tell you.
I gotta find that out. So I want to watch it on my big TV.
I'm sure you could probably watch it if you can log into Facebook. Through.
I think they've got
browser.
an app. I think they've got an app, so I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a 20-minute show. It's basically going to run till 10:30-ish.
Why 20 minutes? Because it's all you can handle.
And then he's the Nectar. No. And then at 10:30 will come 205. But the reason this show is unique, it's number one, it's the first show they're going to have on Facebook Live. This is a new thing they're trying
Right.
on social media. It is a tag team tournament made up of one male and one female superstar. And the idea is they're competing to give $100,000 to the charity of their choice.
Nice.
Now, not picking on them, but I'm assuming pretty much everybody in this, they're already giving money to their charity because it's predetermined and it's not like you're going to go, oh, I like that charity better. I mean, it's kind of weird how that works. We won't go into that. But the team pairings are very unique.
Very, very interesting.
And we already had some drama. We'll start with the first team that I had drama already was the fact that Samoa Joe was supposed to be Bayley's partner and then quote unquote got injured, quote unquote. But I've watched that match like 4 times now and still can't see that he was injured.
Well, they said that in the latest report that I've heard is at some point he stepped on his foot and heard something pop. He's got a plantar fasciitis rupture.
Okay.
So he's going to be out for a few weeks. But we will see.
But he'll be back for the Rumble.
Right. Yeah. Or the conspiracy theorist in me says they really wanted her to be paired with Elias. So they're keeping Joe off TV for another couple weeks.
And that's where Elias and Bayley. So you have the hugger and the musician.
Oh, boy.
It's a unique little team.
That's the best way for Bayley to get rid of her good girl persona is to start hanging out with a musician.
Yeah.
I am one. I know how that is. And a guitar player, no less.
And it's not a bad little team because honestly, a year and a half ago, if you told me Bayley and Elias were in this show, I would have told you, that's nice for Elias. He'll get a nice bump from being with Bayley. Now it's, wow, that's great for Bayley. She's going to get a nice bump for hanging out with Elias.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's insane.
Elias has completely revolutionized himself.
He is hot. And we'll talk about that during Raw and SmackDown.
He's attractive. He's not my type, but okay, I'll go with
He's
him.
very macho, as in man. But,
Ooh,
yeah. So we're going to do the Raw teams first. We'll do the Raw teams and we'll get the SmackDown teams.
All right, who's my Raw teams?
All right, so we have the first big other team is we have sort of the tall and short of it. Literally the tall and short of it. We have Braun Strowman teaming with Alexa Bliss.
Oh, my God. He's going to make her look like an ant.
Oh, my God. And there was controversy in that team, too, because it was Nia that wanted to be with Braun. But I was like, okay, that's unfair.
You're going to have to climb me, little girl, to look me in the eyes.
But even putting Braun and Nia together is a little unfair for everybody else. You're kind of like, that's not fun. But it's an interesting team. It's sort of what they've done in the past where they go, oh, it reminds me of like... the Miz show or Jarrah show when they did that, where you had Big Show with somebody who's a little bit shorter on the shorter side. And you're like, oh, okay.
I thought they were going to call it Beauty and the Beast.
And they could call it. I call it tall and short.
Tall, big and little of it.
Yeah. Grande and Vente. Grande and
Grande
Vente.
and Vente.
Then we have
No, that'd be a tall and Venti.
yeah, Tall and Vente.
Yeah.
Then we have Sasha Banks teaming with Finn Balor.
Weird.
Which is a great team in that you can both look at them and go, and what the hell happened to both of you? This is the holy shit, what the hell happened team.
This is the we fell down a dark hole of pissing Vince off team.
Then we have Nia Jax and Apollo Crews. Move on. I don't understand that pairing at all.
It's very strange. I'm thinking they're probably going to be jobbed out the first week.
Yeah. One of the teams I'm excited about, and he was excited about getting his partner this week, is Asuka and The Miz.
Yeah.
That's a great team.
That was actually really good. One of the things that I want to talk about, and it really pops up when you start getting into the Smackdown pairings, they're how they're revealing the pairings has been actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I got the sense that Miz really didn't know, and it was kind of off the cuff, and you could tell he wasn't 100% like, oh, this is really good. Or, it's like, just fake it. And he's like, I don't know what to say because I need a script. Asuka, in her typical, this is okay. The Sasha Banks Finn Balor one was pretty good.
My next one was one of my favorites. The team that's next was one of my...
Go ahead.
Which was Alicia Fox and Goldust.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely felt like Goldust was confused for a second.
Yeah.
Because he, number one... Again, it's either really good acting or they didn't tell him because he was filming one of his I put on my face paint makeup, which if you've never watched on YouTube, look for him putting on his makeup. It is fascinating to watch.
It's fascinating. It's like, what are you doing in my dressing room?
Exactly. But it was like, he looked at her like, why are you here? And then goes, oh, you're my partner. And it was a genuine moment of you're like, oh, okay. And that team makes fun too because Goldust is completely normal and straight. And Alicia Fox is very conservative and calm.
Yes.
So this is
collected.
This is my team that I would like to see go far. That's not, but I think they're a fun little group because Alicia's just crazy and Goldust is just.
I like to call it Team Bug Nuts Crazy.
Yeah.
Gold Crazy. I think would be the. I liked her reaction too. It's like you're the one that I wanted. You're the one that I wanted. I was like, of course he is.
Now back to the Miz for a second. Do you think his wife would have been his partner if she wasn't pregnant?
Possibly, but I've heard that she doesn't want to wrestle anymore, so then no.
Okay. Next up, we have the Smackdown teams. I'm assuming we're going to now. What they haven't said yet is, are the teams going to I'm assuming, is there a Raw bracket and a Smackdown bracket, and then they'll meet, or are they going to be mixed? We'll find that out.
I've got to assume though that they're going to be a Raw bracket and a Smackdown,
and then the teams will meet at the finals.
Yeah, because coordinating that is then they're going to have to bring in Raw people. There seems to be like one show, like I don't know how many weeks this is going to go on, but it'll probably culminate in whatever the next pay-per-view is after.
It's 12 episodes.
So it'll probably WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think the finale, it's probably the pre-show match for WrestleMania.
Right.
So, all right, so on to the SmackDown teams. We have two real-life couples as teams.
Yep.
And we'll do them both together. We have Lana and Rusev and Naomi and Jimmy.
One of those makes sense and one of those does not.
Okay, well, Lana and Rusev make sense.
No, that's the one that does not make sense.
Really?
They split them up on TV. Why would they put them back together?
Well, they kind of split up Naomi and the Usos too, but Usos have current face again, so.
Right. So, I don't know. I think it's great. The vignettes they did where she's training.
Yeah.
Bro, I dig it. Don't be eating while you're filming a vignette because you look like an idiot.
Then up we have this was my least favorite reveal video was Natty and Shinsuke.
Yeah.
When Shinsuke walks in and goes, meow, I'm like, oh.
No. You didn't do it right. It was like, meow.
Yeah. I'm like,
what?
oh, don't stoop to her level. Please.
She was, and that's the one where I was like, that's staged.
Yeah, that was staged. Because Natty can't act.
And he can't speak enough English, I guess.
And next we have Team No Soul.
Team No Soul.
Team No Soul, which is Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn, because gingers have no souls. Are you going to spit on my equipment?
Team Ginger.
Team Ginger, I have no soul. I just wanted to walk in like the old Undertaker, like, with like all black and stuff like that,
Right.
and walk down there and float to the ring.
Yeah, that reveal was actually pretty cute.
Yeah, it
he
was
was all
cute.
bundled up and
And he was outside.
was outside with her,
And it
which
fits
is
in-
fake. So
And it was fake. It was fun because it fits into Sammy's sort of heelish. He didn't turn face in any way. He was just sort of being himself. It's the goofy yep thing he's doing right now.
right. Yep.
And then we have Carmella, who her partner was voted on. It was a member of New Day, and shocker, it's Big E. Yeah, that was a. Now again, I wonder if certain people weren't injured or they didn't break up. If her partner would be different too, because
Yeah.
Big Cass, both they're not together anymore though. Sad.
What? Well, that's what Vince wanted. That's why he split them up.
And then
Deuce.
next one is Team Disco Ball.
Team Disco. Disco Inferno's back.
Nope, it's Charlotte and Bobby Roode. In the we're going to blind our opponents before we get to the ring so we can beat them easily team.
Correct.
Because their robes, them coming out together,
Oh, it's gonna blind people.
are literally going to blow up sets.
Correct.
Like your phone's going to crack. So, I like the teams in this is. Except for a few teams, I really can't pick what I would say would be a favorite team because, well, I mean, there's some favorites, but I could pick out of the group, I could pick like 4 right now that I could think could win the whole thing.
Sure.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not like you could look at this list and go, oh, that team's definitely winning.
Right.
I mean, there's definitely teams like you said, like Alicia Fox and Goldust, they're probably gone very quickly.
Right.
Sasha and Finn's probably gone very quickly. But teams like Alexa and, Braum and Charlotte and Bobby Roode could go a ways. I could see Becky Lynch and Sammy going away, but she just came back. I could see Elias and Bayley going a decent distance. I could definitely see the Miz and Asuka going a long way.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is there's definitely teams in here where you're not like going, about half the teams, they win this whole thing. And I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my question. They're doing this, and I understand they're putting their best foot forward, hence using the superstars that they're using.
Yes.
But wouldn't it have been a better use of some of the lower grade talent that could use the extra exposure? Like Miz doesn't need the exposure.
Nope.
Braun Strowman doesn't need the exposure.
Charlotte doesn't need
Charlotte doesn't need the exposure. Becky doesn't.
Alexa doesn't.
Sasha, maybe, but not really. Alexa doesn't. Nia doesn't. They're all in the hunt for stuff.
This is the problem is they need those people to get people to watch it. If you didn't have, that's the problem is
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but I'm just, but hear what I'm saying. It just, I get it, but you're never going to elevate the next group of superstars if you keep doing the same thing. And I totally understand this has got to be successful, so we're going to put our best foot forward. I'm shocked that there's not a John Cena group. I'm shocked that John hasn't come back for this because rumor is he's coming back to SmackDown, which, if memory serves me, he was on SmackDown and then he was a free agent.
Yeah, now he's going to be back on SmackDown again.
Well, yeah, so I'm shocked they didn't do John Cena with somebody. I don't, with Brie Bella or
he could have come back.
Nikki. Who's he with?
Nikki. He could have come back with Nikki.
Come back with Nikki.
Because either Nikki's ready to come back and Brie's supposedly ready to come back too. So, and the commentary team for this is an interesting little group too. But it's going to be taped after SmackDown, which means there's Michael Cole's now going to show up on both shows in some way because he's going to show up.
Because why?
Yeah, it's Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Beth Phoenix. Okay. Who do you have a problem with?
All of them.
Really?
Yes.
See, I don't mind Corey and Beth.
I don't mind Corey, but but hang on, hear me out. They're using Corey on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Michael Cole, please. Do we need more Michael Cole in our lives?
Michael.
I don't know if Beth can call a match.
Well,
that's the first thing. Okay, so here's my thing. Who would you use? I would think about this calling team of Renee Young, Mauro Ranallo, and insert color guy here.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who they pick at that point. What if they pick Beth Phoenix? Beth Phoenix, 2 women and 1 man. That would be amazing. Mauro Ranallo, hoop-de-doop-de-doo. Look at what Finn Balor can do.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I think that would have made more sense. And it elevates, again, it goes to elevating talent. Nobody, and I mean nobody is watching this show because freaking Michael Cole is calling it. That's crap to me.
I agree with you.
That's just my own opinion.
Are you excited at all about this? Or
Oh, yeah, totally excited. I'm very excited for it. It'll be fun. It'll be something different for about a week or two. And then once we figure out what's going on, I'll be all like, that's crap.
All right. So on to Raw. Oh, go ahead.
Quick question.
Yes.
Over under on cancer being the cancer or women's breast cancer being the one that they choose.
Oh, the Susan G. Coleman?
Susan G. Coleman or
Connors
for Connor Cure.
No,
whatever.
Susan G. Coleman will win in some way. They haven't announced whose charity is what, so I'm interested to see that too. And that might determine who's going to win too, because you might look at it and go, oh, they're not getting in.
Gotcha.
So, because I'm assuming they're going to announce eventually that the winner gets 100,000 and each round, like even though you're in it, if you lose in the first round, your charity gets like 10 grand.
That's cool. I would love that.
I'm assuming that I'm waiting for that next part to be that where they go, okay, if you lose in the first round, you guys get 10 grand. If you lose in the second round, you get 20. If you lose, you know what I mean,
Right.
And the winner gets 100 and the loser gets like 50.
There's no reason why WWE can't spend some money and help a bunch of people in the process.
Oh, they do though. I want to make they do donate quite a bit to charity
because they advertise how much they do.
Yeah,
and that's a PR thing for them. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah.
That
So
tweet.
all right, on to Raw. I'm gonna say it like that. Raw. You know who?
In English.
Because the pest control technician would call it Raw before he was taking on the Nectar. Nectar. God, JB would hate it. He'd walk out right now. He'd be like, stop.
No, he wouldn't.
All right, so we start off the show with Roman Reigns coming out and trying to keep the Shield alive. Roman Reigns.
It's been a while. You're rusty.
I know, coming out and trying to keep the Shield alive by mentioning them all. And then Jason Jordan comes out, and I love how the entire crowd starts chanting, "You both suck." That was one of my favorite moments.
You both suck.
Oh my God. I was crying because they were trying so hard to get over. And George, just a whiny little, somebody messed with us, we messed with them. And Roman just looked at him like, what the hell? And just the crowd in the background going, "You both suck."
Right.
Memphis was a hot crowd.
Memphis is a snarky, hot crowd. And the thing is, Jordan or, Roman gets his heat the old-fashioned way, and Jordan is just a little punk. And he's written that way. He plays it that way.
Yeah. And then we had Finn Balor come out and disagree with the rest of the club, saying they disagree with the fact that the Champions Club, oh, I hate that name. Please don't let that stick in any way, shape, or form, aren't the dominant three people in the WWE. I like this Finn.
Yeah.
He is fun. He is loose. You can see he's being funny.
Yeah.
He's not pent up in this whole cool guy thing. Like
Hey, he's having fun, but you can see there's an underlying theme of a little bit of heel coming out, which I like.
And no, I think that's where they're going.
Yeah. And by the way, can I take this moment to talk directly to Michael Cole?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you ever, and I mean ever, use the phrase "being the elite," I will send you a cease and desist order.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. They were talking about the club, and for the last 10 years, these three gentlemen have concentrated their efforts on being the elite in the world of professional wrestling.
Oh, I missed that.
And I'm like, you son of a bitch. I just, the whole Too Sweet thing with the lawsuit pissed me off. And
which they made sure they used several times for the show.
Yeah, they're rubbing it in.
To make sure they go, no, look, we own this. This is ours.
That's the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. Yeah. And then they started doing being the elite. And I'm telling you, man, if the Bucks don't countersue, they totally should. They should sue them. Yeah. Say, look, that's our intellectual property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next up we had and this will set up the main event. We'll talk about the main event later, but this basically set up a main event between the club and Roman, Seth, and Jordan. We'll talk about that because that is a completely own topic at the end.
Sure.
We had Bayley and Sasha taking on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Probably one of my favorite matches of the night.
Yeah, man, surprisingly good. And surprisingly good in a good way in that Mandy and Sonya looked really good.
Yeah, I liked how Mandy held her own.
Yeah.
I was not really that aware of Mandy Rose. I'd seen her in NXT a few times.
She wasn't on NXT at the time. She was filler talent.
But she's done pretty well. And then this is what they did. Sonya Deville came out with her hair down, softened her look a little bit, and was like, oh, that's a look I can get behind.
Yeah.
Not that it's like, oh, she's so hot, but it's just it softened her up a little bit because
wasn't
she's so
brutal.
stark.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the match, it was almost like she pulled her hair back and it was like, okay, now it's time to whoop somebody's butt.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought she did great.
But I was watching the match going, okay, so we need girls in this division, and now you've saddled these two. And I'm saying saddled with Paige as in it's a bad thing. But again, I've talked about before where I see the Riot Squad being a more long-term thing and I see more potential in them.
Right.
Absolution, I don't think it's going to last much past into the summer, if at all, because clearly Mandy and Sonya are good enough to go off on their own. And again, not the other girls aren't, but there's just a different feel about them.
Yeah, well, they almost killed Absolution this weekend when Paige took that shot to the back of the neck.
Yeah.
And that was scary to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really scary. I've had neck surgery, and that was scary to watch. And I've heard some other wrestlers talk about that move. I guess that was a couple weeks ago. It wasn't last weekend. But
that's why she wasn't in the ring this week.
Yeah,
They wanted to give her a couple weeks off.
That's right. And I think that the two girls that she's with not only held their own, but did very, very well.
Yeah, no,
so I'm excited for them now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get behind them a little bit more.
And again, but watching those two in the ring, again, and thinking of them and the Riot Squad and even Sasha and Bayley together makes me want a women's tag team titles. There's talent there in that division to make a tag team division.
Well, WWE is belt heavy anyway, so why not?
Well, again, this goes back to I'd like to do it, but I like to bring all the women together and have one. I've talked before. My hope would be to bring all the women under one roof. Mm-hmm. You have a women's champion, a U.S. or Intercontinental, call it the Intercontinental Women's Intercontinental belt, and then a tag team belt, and you're not as belt heavy, and it makes sense. But that's just me. We'll go from there.
All right.
So next up, we had the debut in the ring of the Woken Matt Hardy taking on his toughest competition so far, Kurt Hawkins. 170 losses in a row?
170 losses in a row. God bless him.
I will say this, though. That was a very aggressive Matt Hardy. He was not playing around. And that suplex he did to Hawkins onto the second turnbuckle, that looked brutal. Like, I was watching that going, ooh.
Right. It's time now for all of the shenanigans to die down and take a backseat and let Hardy and the appearing Bray Wyatt actually go at it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I think they've lost a little credibility. And I know that WWE, on purpose, they've showed fans that had like the little Brady Bunch looking, image cut out of the multiple Matt Hardys.
Yeah.
And they did that. I get that. But it's time to shenanigans is fine, but let them actually prove, oh, yeah, this is why they're fighting. They can actually fight each other really well. And
Wyatt shows up in the ring and it's pointless. They basically giggle at each other like schoolgirls meeting on the school playground.
Right.
Playground. That was what I was looking for.
You be Bray Wyatt, I'll be Matt Hardy. Since you didn't get enough of it on Monday.
Okay.
Ah, yes, yes. All around the country, you literally could hear bullets going into guns and people cocking hammers.
Before that
back.
moment, though, we talk about copyright infringement, and it's not copyright, but it's kind of style infringement. Is DeWoke and Matt Hardy using a diamond cutter now?
Yeah, what was up with that? I saw that.
That was a pure diamond cutter. I know I'm talking. I don't know why I'm talking that way. But,
I don't either.
But that was full. That wasn't even hiding it. He stretched out as far as he could and hit that move, and I went, diamond cutter?
I stood up and did the diamond song with
okay.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Because there was always something. The diamond cutter and the Stone Cold Stunner are close. They're not exactly the same.
And the RKO.
But even the RKO is a little bit different.
Sure.
Because the RKO, he does it a tad different. It's a variant. But I watched it and went, oh, shit, that's the diamond cutter.
Yeah.
Every way. So
it was awesome.
Is that his finisher now?
I hope so.
All right. So next up, we had Miz TV. We had Elias come out and do a little concert, which is his new thing. You're over, and it happened a couple weeks ago too, is when you get your own, like Bray has it too, when you get your own name in your own lettering.
Right.
Because Bray has it with the fireflies.
Yep. Elias
has it, looks like frets on a guitar, and it kind of, so you're over when you're getting that kind of crowd.
I'll touch you in the morning and then just walk away.
Yeah. The Miz comes out, and I love where the Miz is in his career right now, and with the fans, is he gets a welcome back chant, and his words are, "Did you miss me?" You want to hate him, but you can't.
You can't. I hate to say this because there's a lot of years that I hated the Miz because his character was so crap. But he is must-see TV.
Yeah.
He's the guy that the angles are popping around. He's the guy that's elevating the Intercontinental belt back to where it was. And yeah, we did miss him because when he's gone, they fill those spots with other idiots. Yeah. Not other superstars.
So were the seeds sown this week for a Miz face turn? Let me tell you why. We had the whole Miz Taraj giving him gifts. Dallas saying, here's a picture. I'm going to miss sleeping with that. And then basically Axel was stripping down.
Yeah, let me give you my sports coat.
The look on the Miz's face of just like, oh my God, you guys are creepy. Are we going to see maybe post-WrestleMania, like almost a stalker thing where basically the Miz Taraj is going to turn on the Miz and turn him face because they're just going to creep him out so much? He's like, you got to get away.
I don't know. I think what they'll do, because my interpretation of that was, these are his followers now. They are card-carrying members.
Yeah, but he was creeped out by it, though.
You think he was?
Oh, you look at his
playing
face.
It out like he was creeped out?
Oh, look at this. You go back and watch the video. When Dallas says, I'm going to miss sleeping with this, he snaps at Dallas and goes, what the hell? And then when Curtis takes off his jacket, he's looking at Curtis like, what are you two doing? Like it reminded me.
You need some shoes.
Yeah, it reminded me of a parent, which neither of us are, but a parent who has two kids, and he comes home from work, and that person comes, and suddenly both kids want attention, so they'll do whatever they can. And the parent's like, "What is wrong with you two psychos?" Like it was that look of like, "What is wrong with you?"
I think that's.
I love you both. What the hell?
I think that's and I think what'll happen. I think what this is more foreshadowing is the tension between those two guys.
Yeah.
What's his face?
Who loves him more?
Bo Dallas. Yeah, Bo Dallas will start, wrecking some of Hawkins. Not Hawkins. Sorry. Kurt Hawkins and Curtis Axel. They're the same person.
They're not. Oh my God. Of all people not to confuse them with. Jesus.
Sorry. Well, it's the name,
All right.
I think not Mr. Perfect and Bo Dallas will start feuding a little bit. And that'll probably be that. And that honestly is the best way to get them over.
Yeah. But Miz had my line of the week.
Oh, did
And I marked it as my line of the week when he said, I allowed Roman Reigns to borrow the Intercontinental title. I'm going, okay, you got demolished, but that's a good thought. That's a great thought.
Well, you had to go film a movie. Yeah. So I gave you that.
The thing is because he's going to get a rematch at the 25th anniversary of Raw.
Yeah.
I could see the Miz winning it back in some shady way.
I don't know.
And freeing Roman up to go back off to wherever he wants.
I don't know. I think they're going to keep the belt on Roman a while so that they all, the members of the Not Shield will all have.
Well, Dean's out for a while. Dean's not coming back.
Sure. Well, that's true.
Dean's gone. So
they'll probably let Roman go for a little while, and then when Dean comes back, they'll put the belt back on him, and then they'll start the storyline again.
Exactly. There's no reason. This is why. And there's nothing it's kind of against Roman, but Roman having the title doesn't make the title interesting. The Miz winning it back and running around every week talking about how he's awesome, and then throwing people like Jason Jordan or Elias or eventually Dallas or Axel, whoever switches off, or you could even have a story where let Miz win it and then let Rhino go, Heath, this is your chance. I'm going to toughen you up. You're going to win the Intercontinental title. And you could have weeks of montage where he's training him to take on The Miz.
I need a montage.
Yeah, I mean, there's things you could do. Finn Balor versus The Miz for the Intercontinental. There's more opportunity with The Miz holding the title than there is with Roman holding the title.
I agree, because when it's Roman Reigns as champion, it's just about Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. When it's The Miz as champion,
it's the belt.
It's the belt, and this is what I'm going to do with the belt. Yeah. Now, it's not stated that way because The Miz states it's all about me, but in reality, that's what The Miz does. He elevates talent.
Well, that and when Roman has the belt, it's I want to beat Roman to win the belt. When somebody like The Miz has the belt, and Mr. Perfect did it, and Honky Tonk did, and that's why he's so good. Those people I'm mentioning for a reason. it wasn't a matter of you wanted to beat them to win the belt. You almost want to liberate the belt from this egomaniac who builds his personality around the belt.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is it's more interesting to beat the Miz to take his belt away than it is just to become Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. And can I say something just on a personal note?
Yes.
The difference between Roman Reigns being champion and the Miz being champion, the Miz will walk out and that championship belt will be around his waist.
Yeah, I hate that over the shoulder.
He talks about it and he paints himself in the same light as Honky Tonk or Shawn or any of those guys. But Roman Reigns, it's just an accessory to him.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately,
it's a necklace.
That's the way he kind of comes off as that's his character. I'm sure that's not how he is as a person. Because, Roman, we love you. We'd love to have you on the show. But, I think your character is like, I'm just going to throw it out, go over my shoulder because I'm cool. Miz is coming out saying, look what I got. Look at this. This is my treasure.
Yeah. No.
And it's near my nuts. So,
yeah.
Hey.
So next up, we had Cedric Alexander taking on Enzo Amore. The only reason I want to mention this match,
the pep talk.
Well, besides the pep talk with Goldust in the back, which I was kind of upset that Goldust didn't go all the way with the quotes and saying, I want you to eat thunder and crap lightning. I was waiting for that to come out as the Mickey voice. He didn't do that. But
I thought he did.
He did it sort of halfy. He didn't go all the way.
Copyright infringement.
Yeah. Was the fact of they set it up perfectly with Enzo almost getting counted out and then looking like he's going to go in the ring and then realizing it was like 9 and going, oh, I'm going to lay back down again. Like the count out, that was a great count out loss by a champion because Enzo truly did look like he was going to roll back in the ring, then realized, oh, I can just lay here and keep my belt. Okay, right. I'll go away.
So at what point do you think he really got the shiner? Because that kick did not hit him in the eye.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard, I watched it again. I watched it a few times actually, and I think there's a spot where Cedric pops his head back, and that's where he catches it because you actually see Enzo react. But that kick was well placed on the wrong side of his head.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it looked good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was a decent little match, though.
I don't want anybody to be hurt. I don't want anybody to lose, work or time or any of that stuff. But if Enzo has to take some time off, that's not breaking my heart.
Yeah. So, then we also found out the Bar can get the rematch at the WrestleMania versus Seth and Jordan.
Yay.
And the Miz will get his rematch at WrestleMania or at Raw 25 in 2 weeks, which I'm excited about. God, that's gonna be a good show.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be a lot of matches. I don't want to. I want a lot of clips. I want a lot of legends. I want a lot of fun.
Do you know how long the people who are actually going to be in the auditorium are going to be in there?
There's 2 auditoriums too.
Yeah.
It's taking place at 2 different places.
Yeah, it's a 5-hour show.
I know. It's going to be long.
No, it's not a 5-hour show for TV.
Yeah.
It's a 5-hour show for those people.
They're taping some stuff for the network. I know they're going to do some stuff for the network. Oh, my God. So that's up. We had
lunch.
We had the Bar. The Bar taking on Titus Worldwide. We had Titus and Apollo Crews. It was a good match. It was not boring at all. I was surprised by it.
I was shocked, actually.
And Titus Worldwide picks up the win.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Ooh, talk about knocking the Bar down a peg.
What does Titus have on Vince?
I don't know, but wow.
I'm telling you, oh God, totally, her name is totally went out of my head. I'm a horrible podcaster. Their new statistician.
Oh my God, the blonde.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooks looks amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's a good role for her. This is what she needed to do 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Come in as something else, and then she can transfer into being the wrestler that we know that she is. She looks amazing. I think she brings a lot to the table. She's learning some tips and tricks. She could be the next awesome Miss Teschmacher.
Could be.
And you know what? I'm all about getting Apollo Crews over because I know you're screaming about him forever. Get his butt over. Titus, he's got his niche now with the company. So All right.
So on to my bullshit segment of the week,
ladies and gentlemen.
And it's not what happened during the segment; it's what happened after the segment. I think is absolute stupid and bullshit. This is the stuff that pisses me off.
Okay.
So Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman, and I loved Paul Heyman's comment of, and I think he's totally right the way they're setting this Brock run up. It's not who can beat Brock, it's can Brock survive the situation. I think that was a great statement, and not as in a bad thing. I think setting Brock up that way, that's the way he should have been booking Brock forever.
Right.
It's what can we do as a company to stop this beast, not who can we have him beat or who can beat him. I think that's brilliant. Kane comes out and attacks him from behind. Strowman joins the fight. And then in the dumbest segment of the week, finds a grappling hook.
Who the hell packs a grappling hook in a road case? I'm in the AV industry.
Yeah.
And I don't ever pack a grappling hook.
Hooks it the first time.
Good throw, though.
Exactly. I'm assuming it wasn't the first take.
Editing.
Exactly. I'm assuming that was. And then pulls down a fake wall on them.
It's trust. It's just trust.
But it wasn't holding anything up.
Right.
It was just there. So I'm like, okay, so someone of you went, put steel here. Why? I don't know. Or,
right.
Hey, we're going to put the steel here so we can drop it on somebody.
Yep.
I hated that whole segment. And then the ending with Brock on the stretcher yelling, Paul, get me out of here, Paul.
Yeah.
But then Kane gets up and walks away and like slinks off into the evening. Like he just got butt hurt and decided to go home for the evening.
I got a date for the prom. I got to get out of here.
Oh, that whole segment was horrendous and I think made the match worse.
That whole segment I think sucked. Now,
I agree.
As much as I love Paul, as much as I love Paul, I thought that was probably his worst promo.
Except for that line.
Except for that line, sure. But they're boxing him into these promos.
Yeah.
The problem with it is this is all so contrived. What they do is they send Paul out and say, hey, you got to sell this match. And nobody really cares about this match.
No.
And, we're going to put him against these two monsters. Okay, what happens next?
Yeah,
you're going to put him up against 5 monsters.
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
And you're going to break both of his kneecaps, and then you're going to expect them to wrestle?
Yeah.
I don't care about this. He's had the belt for way too long.
Yeah.
And he needs to go take some time off so he can go back and be a monster again and then come back.
Right.
And then that segment that you're talking about, when they did the cut shot, when they did the opposite shot, you actually saw the safety wire for the truss. So that steel is.
So it wouldn't fall too fast.
So it wouldn't fall too fast. And plus they had boxes on the guy, so it fell on the boxes. And I'm like, that's just crap.
Yeah, and they're better at that. And they're way better. They've proven that in the past. Example, driving a limousine into a trailer. Yeah, you knew it was edited, but you watched it and it looked legit.
Vince McMahon stepping into a limousine, the limousine exploding was better than that.
I mean, but that was just crap. That was absolutely okay. On from that crap.
Spectacle for the sense of spectacle.
Joe comes out, takes on Rhino, destroys Rhino, just obliterates Rhino.
Apparently pops his plantar fasciitis bubble.
But targeting John Cena at the Royal Rumble. I love how now we have Joe having a target. Because he mentioned every name, and the minute they mentioned Cena, it was, oh no, I'm going after. If that's not a match, is that the WrestleMania match? Is that what we're leading up to?
Yeah,
is a WrestleMania match between Joe and Cena, which I'm not going to say is going to be horrible. I'm excited about that. If that's what we're going to leading up to, I'll take it. A month and a half of that lead up would be good.
Only if he retires him.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be fun.
If Joe cripples him, oh my God.
If Joe puts him on the shelf for a good long while, I think it'll be fun. If it's just another person let me put you like this. I will go on the record right now and say this. It'll be very, 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 very difficult for me to keep watching WWE if John Cena buries Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Because in the real world,
it wouldn't happen.
John Cena gets his ass handed to them and shaved like ham and handed back to him. So it would be very difficult if that decision is made for a third-time wrestler.
Yeah.
That's not 3/4 time wrestler, 1/3 time wrestler, wrestles like 3 times a month.
A movie star.
3 times a year, excuse me. To come in and beat Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be hard for me.
Then we had a weird segment between Nia and Asuka that was just weird. That was just strange.
Asuka doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not true. She spoke English 2 segments ago.
Yeah, that was just weird. And then we had the main event, which was the Club and Finn Balor taking on Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan.
You talk about somebody who's taken a far back seat.
Oh, my God.
Seth and Finn Balor are sitting in the back, biggity back of the bus.
But the Balor Club won the match.
Got to give it to him, man.
And it wasn't a bad match either.
Were you as shocked as I am that Balor Club came out for the second week?
Yeah.
So that it wasn't a fluke. It was like, hey, we're actually going to do it.
No, I think they're doing it.
Good for them.
And then what made the segment great was The Miz and the Miztourage coming out and just laying everybody out and just rolling Roman. And I love the crowd. And again, this is where Miz has been really good recently, is he's using the crowd to his advantage. When they were like, one more time, he looked at it for a second, went, all right. That was not scripted, I'm assuming. That was just them running, because he walked in and went, what the hell?
Yeah.
And you could see when he picked him up, I think he whispered for a second, like, this is over. And just hit him again. Like, all right, we're going for it.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah.
Raw wasn't too bad. I wasn't like horrible.
Raw wasn't bad. Anyway, we'll talk about SmackDown. I think Raw is a little bit better than SmackDown.
Oh, yeah, I agree too. So, before we move on, I want to once again thank the Anchorage Brewing Company for the Nectar. The Nectar. The Nectar's going to pollinate your corn. Oh, your corn is going to be so big afterwards because of the nectar.
Hey there, little lady. How'd you like me to put some pollen in your stamen?
Let me puke into a cup and you can eat it and call it honey. Bee vomit. La, 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 la. It's sweet and golden.
Okay, stop. Now you've crossed the line for me, buddy.
Let me puke
Stop.
for you. All right.
Stop.
It's true.
Didn't Vince McMahon have a wrestler he was going to call Puke?
Yeah, he had a wrestler called Puke. He had one.
Yeah, it didn't last very long.
No.
It was a wrestler who ultimately got crippled. Wasn't it?
I think one
Draws.
of them. Yeah, Draws. Yeah.
Draws.
He puked during matches.
Yeah, he's gonna puke.
Yeah, but you didn't eat his puke.
I remember, was that behind the mat or whatever? I just remember Vince sitting behind his desk going, he's gonna puke. And I'm like, Vince, you're gonna put that on TV?
Yep.
Even during the Attitude Era.
Multiple times.
That's a little bit much.
All right, so on to SmackDown. Okay, the opening segment was just disjointed and just weird. Even Sammy and KO couldn't save it.
But it was better than, another segment with Shane McMahon.
Yeah, it was great though. KO and Sammy with this whole yep thing are just perfectly timed.
Yeah.
And I like how Shane is now questioning everything Daniel does. And there's some questions in there. We'll get into that in a second. We had Ruby Riott versus Becky Lynch.
Great match.
And God, Ruby's just dark and slow and methodical, and I love it.
She's great, man. Becky actually looked good.
Yeah.
They've toned the orange down a little bit. I think she's letting some of her natural hair color come back out.
Yeah, definitely.
And she's I don't know. They tweaked her character a little bit to where she's not like Becky Balboa, and she's just I'm a wrestler. I'm going to kick your butt. And I liked that. I thought she was great.
We had the next match in the U.S. title tournament.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
Mojo mugged Ryder. That was a mugging. That was a pure, absolute mugging. Okay, this is the thing with Mojo right now, though, is they can't decide what they want to do with him, though.
No.
He still runs to the ring, runs around, and stands there. No, it's got to be one or the other. You can't be this jumpy, rolly guy and then be a heel. You've got to just walk to the ring and just stomp in and kick people's butt. He would be so good as not necessarily stone cold personality, but that mentality of I walk to the ring, I beat somebody up, I leave the ring.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, that's all he needs to do.
Even if he were to walk to the ring and beat somebody up and grab a microphone and go, he ain't hype.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Just let him beat him.
Same thing. I mean, it would be the same thing. Or if they just change his name totally to the Nectar.
Nectar.
Sorry.
We're gonna do that next week, and
JB's gonna go, what the hell is wrong with you people?
And then Bobby Roode was out ringside for
that was so stupid. What is up with face-offs in professional wrestling is about as useless as toilet paper in the woods.
Then we had Benjamin and Gable come out for my second favorite segment of the week.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. No, I hated it. I love the whole free the tag team titles and
I like that piece.
The whole we demand justice. And they had a great line though. I will say this. I go when Gable and Benjamin said to Brian, I feel like you're taking out on us because your boss is mad at you. And the whole how do you feel thing.
That was actually not horrible.
Yeah, that was fun.
But there's something about Shelton Benjamin. I cannot get over. It's just like he's not clicking with me.
Yeah. Well, again, and this is where we talk about Daniel losing his mind. He's allowing people to book matches in weird ways. You know, AJ said last week, why don't we just make me take on them both? Fine. You're in a handicap match where they're going to tag in and out and you're going to take on both. This week, we'll beat them twice.
Oh, yeah.
Great idea. Now you can take them on the best 2 out of 3. I'm like, are we booking by I'm not sure?
I pray to God that Charlotte doesn't say, well, why don't you just pick the winner by playing pigtail on the donkey?
Yeah.
Because if that happens, then I'm done.
Oh, but yeah, it was weird. I mean, it wasn't a whole. I liked the segment. It wasn't.
That's okay. It didn't hit with me, but that's all right. That's we're unique.
So then we had another shocking win, another shocking match. Rusev in English.
Yeah.
Taking on Breezango. Breezango wins, which was shocking as hell.
I couldn't believe they were actually wrestling.
Yeah.
We got a twofer of jobber matches.
I know.
One went well, one did not.
Oh, you're talking about the Ascension.
Yeah.
I'm not even mentioning that match. That was a joke. But again, Aiden English and Rusev are so great. Before the match starts, when Rusev whispered into English's ear and he went, "The Rusev Rumble," I'm like, holy shit. That is the funniest out. And even Corey was just throwing the word Rusev in front of everything.
Right.
And Todd Phillips like, you can't use the word Rusev in front of everything. Nope, you can.
Yeah.
So if this is the new gimmick that we're gonna run,
right.
Oh my god! If it becomes Rusev down and like every pay per view is Rusev
down,
Rusev down, it's Rusev down live.
If he keeps up, Ruseving up.
Oh my god, those two. This is the perfect match of two teams that are over and they don't know what the hell to do with them.
Exactly.
Because
for no good reason.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
Now, was this before the Ascension match or after?
No, this is after. This is way after. This was near the end. Because remember, the Ascension said we couldn't come out to your match,
right,
because they were getting ready for Rusev.
Right. So we came out of commercial, and I heard the music, and I was like, I know that theme. And then I saw the Ascension. I was like, holy cow, we have an Ascension sighting on SmackDown. And then I saw the Bludgeon Brothers come on. I was like, crap.
Yeah.
It's a jobber match.
Yeah. Then you missed the segment earlier where they ran the video package. They mentioned the match. And I was like already like fast forwarding.
Yeah, I think I missed that.
So, okay. So then we had a weird segment in the back with Shane and Daniel. And the other.
Guess we'll agree to disagree.
That. And I love how Shane is saying Daniel is unstable. And Daniel's saying Shane is unstable. But Daniel really gets the last line when he goes, well, you know your gene pool. And I'm like,
that was pretty good.
Oh, that was awesome. That was a great shot there.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite line of the night right there.
Yeah. And then we had our main event. We had AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm just happy to be here, but not excited to do anything. Randy Orton.
You are missing you are missing the line of the night.
Which one? No, the line of the night?
AJ Styles is standing there talking about, he's talking to Randy Orton about the main event match. And then Randy does his typical Randy Orton. Just so you know, the Royal Rumble, I don't care about anybody else except getting my belt. And then Shinsuke Nakamura comes in and he goes, hey, guys. Good talk.
Yeah.
I'm like,
all right.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
Good talk.
This whole match was strange.
It sucked.
They
it
took
was not
on
good.
KO and Sammy. Sammy and KO couldn't get out of there quicker. And again, this is where I'm already annoyed with the whole Shane McMahon storyline. KO and Sammy get counted out. I'm going to make it no count out. Sammy and KO get DQ'd. I'm going to make it new DQ. And then everybody just beats up on Sammy is basically what happened. Now, again, so I'm wondering if we're going to lead into next week's show. AJ chases after KO with a chair and disappears in the back and are never seen again.
Right.
And then Shinsuke and Randy basically beat the crap out of Sami Zayn with a Kinshasa,
Ken Shamrock.
And of course, they have to do the RKO last because, God forbid Randy.
Jeez, prima donna whore.
Oh, my God. SmackDown was not. I'm sorry. I love wrestling. SmackDown was not entertaining this week. I was bored.
I felt like the last match was like, how many superstars can we get on TV?
Yeah.
And it felt that way.
Ooh, we're paying you? Go out there.
Yeah. Oh, who have we not used? AJ, go ahead. Shinsuke, yeah, I got to get your entrance. Yeah, dude. Bobby Roode, no. We did the face-off thing with you earlier. Randy Orton, yeah, that'd be great. Wow, Randy Orton, that'd be a great ending. So we'll do that. I'm like, dude, seriously?
Yeah.
It's such an incredible waste of talent. There's every one of those dudes need to be in their own little,
I agree.
feud. It's such a waste.
And we're a week away from the Raw 25th anniversary.
Yep.
Which they're building for. We're 3 weeks away from WrestleMania?
2.
2?
No, 2
3
weeks from the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Royal Rumble. 3 weeks from Royal Rumble.
No, we're 2 weeks from the
2
Royal
weeks from Royal
Rumble.
Rumble.
Yeah.
It's the 28th.
Yeah.
So we're a couple weeks away from that. And at least this week. The only good thing that came out of SmackDown this week was at least we got clarification on how the handicap match is going to work. But we talked about that last week.
Right.
Of this handicap match, how is this going to work? Are they both going to be in the ring at the same time?
Right.
And they said, no, they're going to tag in and out. Okay, fine.
Right.
That made sense. And they could technically be co-champions.
Right.
Which means they're not going to win because they're not going to allow that to happen.
I really hope they do it. I hope they do it just to show how stupid it is. This is the land of opportunity, but we have co-champions.
Will they do it like the old? Remember when, back in the day when they had the old Divas co-champions and they had the belt that was cut? It was like spliced in the middle.
Yeah.
It was Michelle McCool and somebody else.
Yeah. Michelle McCool and Layla.
Yeah, and they both were champions technically.
Cool.
Yeah, and they had the belt and it was like split in half. Please don't do that to the world title.
I think you should totally do that. And then what happens is each of them goes at separate times to wrestle a match, and they both lose.
No.
Then they'll have a unification match. It just writes itself, man.
The thing is I feel bad for. I don't feel bad for KO and AJ. I want KO and AJ. I don't need Sammy in it. That's the problem.
Right.
And I also feel that you're basically pissing on your WWE Championship, which is the Universal Championship new belt. This is the belt that literally links back to, Hulk Hogan and San Martino. This is that belt. This is the lineage that goes all the way back through your history. This is your title, and you're turning into a joke.
You're making it a joke. I will say this: the one good thing that came out of it was. Did you catch the promo that Jinder cut?
Yeah, that was good.
That was a really good promo, except for one small thing.
It was a little
Don't
icy,
smile at the end.
No, I like the smile. I like the smile because he smiled and then went mean, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I kind of
I would have kept him mean the whole time.
So all right, that's it.
Yeah. So I thought Raw was better.
Oh, Raw was far better, by far better.
And the sad thing is that they're showing their hand.
Yeah.
They're writing Raw better leading up to the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
So that means I think the Royal Rumble. That's why we get the Women's Royal Rumble. They don't have to write that much.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited to see who they bring in for the Rumble, for the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm all excited with the men's, but there's such a large roster right now with men that you don't need a lot of filler.
Right.
The women, you still need some filler.
Candice LeRae.
Really? Is that what you're hearing?
I want No, I'm not hearing it. But I've heard rumors that she was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh is where the wrestlers go to get their medical clearance.
Yeah.
If Candice walks out, she's my...
Well, one of the biggest rumors is also Ronda Rousey.
Oh, that's WrestleMania, though.
No. I've heard a rumor. I read a rumor
after the Rumble
that she's going to be one of the surprises and she's going to win it, and that's and that she's going to go after Charlotte.
That would be cool too.
That she'll be, she'll come out like 25 on somewhere in there, and that
she's to come out 29th,
but she'll win or 30th.
Yeah, 30th. That's what I meant.
But that what's one of the rumors I read is that she may have already signed because she's supposed to had dinner with Triple H and they're supposed she's working out and she's worked and they're trying to keep her as quiet as they can.
Why not?
And bring her out and let her win the Rumble and then let her go to WrestleMania.
Look, Ronda Rousey has way more upside. Now, hear me when I say this. This will freak out. Ronda Rousey has more upside than Brock Lesnar does.
Yeah.
Because she's a completely name act.
Yep.
She's got the UFC credibility, even though she lost. But she's also got high value Hollywood capabilities. Yep. She's been in several top movies. Yeah. She's got the acting.
She'll bring a lot
of
mainstream.
She'll bring a lot of mainstream, and she's beautiful.
Yep.
She's brilliant, and she's gonna bring in girls from a whole nother market.
Yeah.
And I think that's a brilliant move. Pay her what she wants, guys. She's totally worth it.
The rumor is she's already signed, and they're just keeping her. They're working with her like every day.
Yeah.
And that they're keeping her under wraps until the Rumble.
Yeah. Candice is an independent wrestler. She's the wife of Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
She was in the Mae Young Classic and amazing.
And I think some girls in the Mae Young Classic are going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I totally think that.
So once again, I'd like to thank the Anchorage Brewing Company for the Nectar.
The Nectar.
Until we get a cease and desist going, never mention our beer like that again. What do you mean? Like, the Nectar.
You make it sound dirty when you say that.
The Nectar's going to come over and sting you.
Okay.
And then die in the corner.
All right.
All right, sorry.
When you're ready to put your beer down.
When you're ready to put your beer down.
Dear, you're so dumb you think the Nectar is a great name for a pro wrestler.
Make sure you head over to vintagepressing.com. Vintagepressing.com, where you can get drink coasters, luggage tags, phone cases, and more.
If you would, please visit us over at beersandbodyslams.com. Check us out there. You can see all of our archives. You can see our amazing sponsors. You can also visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/beersandbodyslams podcast. You can check out our videos there. The coolest thing that we just added is go over to youtube.com, type in the search bar, Beers and Body Slams podcast, and you can now listen/watch the podcast on YouTube. And we would ask that you would subscribe. We need a certain amount of subscribers before they'll give us the what is the word? The vanity name.
Yeah, they'll change our name.
Yeah, we need some subscribers. We're close. We're a fifth of the way in.
Yeah.
So we need a few more subscribers to Beers and Body Slams podcast on YouTube, and that would be totally awesome if you guys would help us out.
Make sure you follow us on Untapped so you can see we're drinking. You can follow good old JB when he's not hurting and in pain
That's
at
right.
good old JB. You can follow me as I attempt to make my liver remember who the Nectar is.
Oh, geez.
At Mr. Fluffy.
And you can follow me as I treat my liver like the WWE treats Sami Zayn at the Irish O'Leary.
Make sure you tune in on Monday. We're going to have a fun little show. We're going to have a goofy little topic. I like to have those once in a while. We're going to talk about our favorite jobbers. We're going to kind of talk about jobbers in history, what the jobbers do, like why we love them in a way, and the ones that have gotten over huge. We're going to mention some fun names.
Yep.
The Nectar
Is not one of them.
would definitely be a jobber.
Totally.
Yeah, he would be a James Ellsworth level jobber.
Totally.
All right. Make sure you tune in on Monday and then follow up the following week for our normal Raw and SmackDown show. We're going to talk about that, and we'll have some more stuff than that.
As easy for you to say.
As always, make sure you keep your pint glasses full and your body slammed stiff.
The Nectar's coming for you.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.